What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked On Sharks, the premier podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay, and that favorite team sucks.
This has to be the most.
Oh, I thought we were just going to music. The intro.
This has to be the most disappointing win of the year, right?
They're terrible. They might as well have just lost.
Here we go.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We don't even have meat to cheer us up. Sad intro. I'm your host, Kyle Demetrius. Back with me, as always, is my co-host, JD, the 2-goal blown lead to my thrice 2-goal blown lead. They blew 3 separate 2-goal leads to a team that is barely AHL caliber. It's goddamn embarrassing. That was awful. Anybody who comes out of this be like, I got 2 points. I don't know what to tell you. Just don't listen to our podcast anymore. I don't care about the subscriber numbers. Like, if you think like that was a way to gut out 2 points, who gives a shit? The Coyotes have 6 wins. They are one of the worst teams ever to play hockey, probably in the history of the NHL. Like,
yeah,
I knew there's going to be rust, but like that was horrendous.
Yeah, like, it's like, okay, maybe like after the first period, like if they like tighten stuff up in like the second and third period, it's like, okay, I can, whatever, the first period, it was like a 2-2 first period. Like
you're getting it's rusty, you're getting your legs back under you. Who cares? Great, awesome. Let's have some.
But that was just borderline, not even border. That was just atrocious, non-existent defense. Just poor James Reimer, and getting hung out to dry. And there was no Aiden Hill to get to come in the game since he's on the COVID list, and you don't want to put Sawchenko out there and just get annihilated. So poor James Reimer's just got to be out there and just eat it for the
Yeah, at no point in this podcast will we be blaming James Reimer for anything.
No, James Reimer is a saint. I did not want to hear your slang.
He is above reproach. Yes. The Arizona Coyotes, who famously take no shots, they are like last in the NHL in shots. They took 46 shots.
They also, the Arizona Coyotes, who let a bajillion shots, the Sharks 27.
Like literally, this should be the point where every fan in the that's been watching the Sharks all season should be like, well, we should tank for Shane Wright or somebody good, because like this team isn't good enough. And if you're like, well, it's the first game back after a little layoff. Yeah, I can't stress enough how bad the Arizona Coyotes are. They are horrendous.
It's
Scott
not like
Wedgwood is the only reason that the Sharks were in this game. Yeah, if you look at the little heat maps that JD puts up, because he takes it from, I think, Natural Stat Trick does it.
Yes, Natural Stat Trick.
The Coyotes basically is just a red glowing orb over top of the Sharks' home run plate, slot zone, net front, whatever you want to call it. It's literally just a glowing orb. It's so bad. The defense was horrendous to a man.
Yeah.
I have nothing. Like, Alexander Barabanov was probably the only good player tonight.
Barabanov was good. Erik Karlsson in the offensive zone. Like in the offensive, that
pass was sweet.
That pass
where he purposely like missed and banked it off the end board so Barabanov can get it. There was moments where they looked all right, but you can't be like, oh yeah, we look good for a couple offensive moments against the Coyotes, and then be like, well, it's time to play the Flames in the playoffs. You're gonna get torched. It's. I didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah, it was just, this is, like I said, this is the worst feeling win of the season, where it's just like, they scored
demoralizing win.
They scored 7 goals, and it's like, oh great, the offense was there, but again, like, this is an AHL. They're basically playing the Barracuda type of thing, where it's just like the Coyotes are atrocious, bad, like.
They have a man named Dyson Mayo on their team.
Like, I never heard of like half these guys who were like scoring goals tonight for them. And it's just like, you want to come out of that game feeling good about it, and you got, it's like you're gonna play the Flyers, who've been bad as well, but like on Thursday, but then you're playing the Penguins on Sunday, and that game's an early Sunday game in Pittsburgh. That game is not going to be pretty, man. Like,
the problem is that if San Jose was sloppy and with turnovers and stuff like that, but they were like, okay, let's just play some good team defense, something like that, or they ended up going out there and it was like 4-3, but it wasn't.
You saw the progress of the game where it's like, let's tighten things up and stuff like that.
It got progressively worse as the game went on.
It got worse.
I just don't know how. I honestly don't know how you look at this game if you're the management staff and go, "Yep, we're on the right track." Like, I guess a win is a win is a win is a win, but at the same time, I don't know.
I don't know.
What is this team supposed to do? They're supposed to be good at defense, and they just give up that a million things.
They give up 7 goals to the Arizona Coyotes, who average less than 2 goals a game. That's 3 games of 3.5 games of goals for them. They got in one game.
At no point was I like, yes, here is a foundation of stuff that they could build off of. I guess Barabanov,
who is he the best Shark and Shark on the team or the best Shark and Shark's history?
To be fair, Timo was balling, but also
Timo was balling too. But
Timo was just doing Timo stuff. At this point, I don't know if they should trade Barabanov at the deadline.
No,
they should just keep him. There's $1 million, but I mean, they could probably get stuff for him. But it's just
like 3 firsts. You think easy?
Maybe 2 firsts and a second.
Yeah, okay.
Let's not set the expectations too high for Barabanov. But man, I just don't know how we can trick ourselves into thinking that this is a playoff team.
You know what, Kyle? You know what you don't need to trick yourself into?
Is it Built Bars? I'm very hungry. I'm not hangry. I'm just regular angry. But I will. The
only thing that we can trust now is Built Bars. It's New Year's. That means New Year's resolutions. If yours is about getting fit or eating healthier, make sure you include Built Bar in your plan. Built Bar is a protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, but even better than a candy bar. Built Bar makes it easy to stick to your resolution because it tastes so good you'll want to eat it. Unlike other protein bars, which can be chalky or waxy or taste like a chemical spill. You want to eat healthy, but it just gets so boring. By like week 3, you're like, man, this is not worth it. Where's the chocolate? That's where Built Bars come in, baby. 100% real chocolate. Most Built Bars contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a candy bar, which is usually around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. So here's an idea for the new year. Go to your secret treat stash at home, in the pantry, in the office car, wherever. Throw it all out and replace them with Built Bars. So when you're craving a snack or treat, you can reach for something that's healthy and tastes incredible. So make sure you go to built.com, use that promo code LOCKEDON15 or LOCK15, sorry. So promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at built.com. Again, LOCK15 for 15% off at built.com. Built Bars, the only thing we can trust now, Kyle.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like,
okay, and I don't want to like to me. This is the downer podcast, but it started off with the dumbass lines they sent out there at the beginning.
They were so bad. Like, okay, so the line. I mean, I know we didn't know Hertl was going to play until like game time. That's fine, but like Hertl and Barabanov have had great chemistry all year, right?
Correct.
Couture and Meyer been playing well all year.
Correct.
Bonino, Cogliano, Nieto, serviceable third line. They're gonna, where you call up Ryan Merkley, who looked like Nick he belonged, Merkley. Or Nick Merkley, sorry, A Merkley. You called up A Merkley, the one that's available right now. He looked like he belonged, right? Like in his time with the Sharkuda. You bench him for Lane Pederson.
What has Lane Pederson done this season at the Shark? So Shang, San Jose Hockey Now, go subscribe.
Yes,
best beat writer the Sharks have. Me and him were going back and forth about the lines because not only did they break up Barabanov, Hertl, and they put Halgavax on the third line and Gregor, they did a whole bunch of weird stuff for balance, I guess. But I was saying that where is Nick Merkley? Because the fourth line was Jonah Gadjevich, Lane Pederson, Jeffrey Veal, which is just.
They scored, though. Of course, they scored just because
it's the Coyotes.
We cannot emphasize how bad the Coyotes are, people.
But it's just like Yeah, you bring in Veal, and he basically does the same thing Gadjevich does, but probably worse. They're just big punchy boys at this point.
Yeah.
Why is Nick Merkley not getting a shot over Lane Pederson? And
Lane Pederson, who played on the power play.
Oh my god! But Shang had said that Bob had said that Lane shows a really high skill ceiling in practice, and he's really good in practice, and that's something that when you're evaluating marginal players, you kind of maybe give him an edge. To quote the great warrior poet Allen Iverson, we're talking about practice,
not the game.
Practice.
I love
practice.
Yeah, he's played 18 games now.
Exactly. The coaching staff is basing his play and availability in the lineup based on practice over 18 games with 1 assist and literally ineffectual play the entire time. It's not so much that I'm worried about that he doesn't have any points. It's that he does nothing else on the ice.
Yeah,
he's marginal. He's a tweener. Maybe he's a tweener AHL, NHL guy, but that doesn't mean he's an NHL guy. He's probably an AHL guy, and he needs to go back. I know that maybe they don't think as highly as Nick Merkley, but maybe try it out. Maybe bring back John Leonard. To be fair, Pederson was on the team when Gregor and Halbgevacs were down, and they seem to be doing better. Bring back Leonard, like I just said. Bring back Joachim Blichfeld. I don't know. Do something, because Lane Pederson isn't it. You got to do something. Like, you see it tonight. Like, what? Maybe if they had somebody with a little something different there, they could get something going. But it's just dumb. And then they immediately after the first period changed the lines anyway, because they realized that they lined them up stupidly.
Yeah, and it's like, why wasn't like Hogwarts playing with Hurdle? Like that second line was really great with him in the last game they played. And
Hogwarts isn't a third line guy. He's like 5'10".
Yeah.
If that, he might be like 5'8". Like, he's clearly a skill guy who needs some skill going on. He's not going to play with Benino and Cogliano and be like, I'm here roughing it up in the corners. It's not his game. What are we doing?
Put him with Hurdle, who can kind of rough it up. You know, he's a big boy, and Bear
gigantic ass.
Yeah, he's the most gigantic of asses. But like, put him with, a Bear Banoff who has this insane vision, and Hobblewalk seems like a guy who's like, he's going to use his small frame to get in those places, and that just seems like a great line combination with those three playing until you start getting reinforcements back with Darlene and stuff. And like Gregor, like, put him with. I thought he's played well since his return. Like, put him with Couture and Meyer, and just be like, dude, go get the puck and then give it to Meyer and Couture and let them do stuff. Like,
why do we have to pretend that Matt Nieto's done anything?
What has Matt Nieto done all year?
He scored in those 2 games or something like that. Like,
he played well against cyberbullied.
Yeah, cyberbullying works, folks. Trust me. Yes. He played well against Carolina one time. We're on game 31 at this point. Like, eventually you got to start doing something else. And then it's like overtime. What combo on the power play has not worked, literally never, for 3 straight years? Burns and Carlson together on the power play. They get a power play in overtime, and what do? They run out Burns and Carlson with, I think, Hurdle and Meyer. Yeah. What is that garbage? It's not going to work. Guess what happened? It didn't work. It literally instantly worked. And then they took them off after 30 seconds because Bob was mad that it wasn't working. And they put out Couture and 2 forwards and Mario Ferraro, who has been, I like the guy, and I think he's going to be good down the road, but he has been dreadful this season. And also, he's not an offensive guy. Why is he running the power play? You can split up Burns and Carlson. Now you have one of them on each power play, which works.
Which does work. We've seen it.
It works.
Yes.
I don't understand why the coaching staff needs to galaxy bring themselves into these decisions. I don't understand what they're doing. If we're basing guys' play to get into games off practice, and then we're just going back to things that don't work, I just don't understand. And in a game against Arizona, you can get away with it, which they almost didn't. I think is the bigger picture here, is that in a game like this against Arizona, you can pretty much do what you want and you're going to be in the game. Yeah. Arizona's bad. They blew 3 separate 2-goal leads, and they shot themselves in the foot before they even got out here. And I know they've been off, and some guys have had COVID and stuff like that, but you got to set yourself up for success. That's poor. And their last 2 games were against Canucks and the Kraken, who are both bad, and they lost both of those.
Imagine if Hurdle wasn't playing. They would have lost this game if Hurdle wasn't playing. If Nick Medina was 2C and Lane
Pederson would have been 2C at this rate.
It's just
it's frustrating.
I think that's the frustrating part, where it's just this team, they're just constantly not setting themselves up for success, right? And it's, and it's at some point, you got to look at, I thought the team was better coached when John Madden and the Charcuterie, they had less skilled players, and that has to tell you something, right? When you're running out a bunch of AHL guys and you're competing with people, and then tonight you've got, I know you don't have Darlene, like guys haven't played in a while, but it's like you barely scrape by against the Arizona Coyotes. That has to tell you something about this coaching staff, and like I think we've given, this is year 3 for Bob, and
is it already?
Yeah,
or like 2.5, right? Yeah, 2.4,
whatever.
Like
it's a big enough sample size, and I don't see what Bob Boughner what does he bring to the table what is his specialty that he brings to the table?
Handsomeness? I don't know.
Ruggedness.
Smoldering good looks. I don't know.
But you know what I'm
the
saying?
Defense has been better because they should have been good at defense.
But they've been bad the past 2 years with the same people.
Yeah. I think they showed a graphic on the thing where they're leading the league in block shots.
Okay. Good for you're just getting your defenseman killed. Like I don't see what this team, like with Bob Boughner right now, like
the offense needs something, and they're just getting nothing. They're getting nothing on offense.
I know we're complaining about the offense. They scored 7 goals tonight.
It's Scott Redwood and the Coyotes. Like I just cannot believe that we have to. I'm just going to keep saying it. The Coyotes have won 6 NHL games this season. 6.
They started the season like 0-8 or something like that. But it's just like there was just no sustained offense, and if it was,
they got outshot 46 to like 28 or something like that. Like that's pathetic.
Yeah, and it was just this so depressing. Like when we talked about that, I had my little mini rant after they lost to the Canucks, and it's just like they won, but it's the same stuff, like. And Brent Burns is.
Are we witnessing the fall of Rome in one fell go? Because man, I know he's coming back from COVID, but they shouldn't have been talking about how he's bicycling to work and stuff like that, because that tells me he's fine. But man, his play this season he's hit the cliff. He's the 10th oldest player in the league, I think, and he's near the top of time on ice.
He played 28 minutes tonight. A guy coming back from COVID.
What? If you're not watching on YouTube, JVD and I are literally have our hands in our face right now. Why did they play him 28 minutes? What did the other defensemen play?
Ferraro 26 minutes, Erik Karlsson 24 minutes, Middleton 21, Shimmick 12, Vlasic 13.
Erik Karlsson is literally in the Norris conversation this season, and they refuse to play him more minutes. And like Burns Ferraro is bad. It's not working.
It's so bad. Yeah.
28 minutes.
What are we doing here? There's nobody. Like, I don't know how you can watch that game and be like, Brent Burns, man, you got to keep throwing him over the boards, dude.
He played almost half
that penalty.
Game.
That penalty.
He takes a cross-checking penalty with 2 minutes left. A needless cross-checking penalty. There's dudes in a scrum, and he just comes in and huffs him in the hip with his stick. Like I don't understand. Like I know he. Okay, I got blocked by him on Twitter a long time ago. I don't know why. It's just not like I was saying anything super egregious. I have a Brent Burns jersey in my closet. I have a Brent Burns bobblehead actually right here. I really like Brent Burns. He's really fun to watch. He was electric in his prime. He was cool. He was never good at defense. But he was cool and fun. Our criticisms of Brent Burns is that he's trying to be cool, fun, 31-year-old Brent Burns when he's like, how old are you?
He's 36.
36? Yeah.
37 in March. So
yeah. So he's turning 37. And he's like, Father Time waits for no man. And I don't know why they think it's waiting for him because he works out and eats pizza. Cool. It just sucks that he fell off. It seems like he's fallen off real hard. We might not. This might be the end. Like last season, you could still find some things.
Yeah, like there was at least that he was providing the offense, and like still scoring goals and like doing,
this season, it's clearly just he's missing passes. He's not. It's
just like every time he's in his own zone, there's no transition game with him anymore. It's just fling the puck out of here and let's get it. Hope and then like
that breakaway in overtime was pretty sweet though.
That breakaway in overtime,
but like that's once in a while now with him. It's not all the time, and it's
you don't.
Erik Karlsson's gone the other way, where Erik Karlsson looks electric all the time. But I don't know that I think it really got to watch the edge of the cliff because this might be like one wheel off already. It's 28 minutes. Okay,
28 minutes in his first game back from COVID. I mean, we don't know what his COVID symptoms. He may not have had any symptoms or anything like that, but the dude still had COVID. And it's like. He hasn't played a game in 10 days or whatever it's been. And it's just like, what are we doing here? And it's like, I know Vlasic, Šimik haven't been great, but like.
Maybe just give them 2 more minutes each.
Please.
Why can't Erik Karlsson play 25 minutes? I don't know.
But the turnovers, Kyle, the turnovers.
My greatest meme ever that I made was the Eric Andre show where he shoots Hannibal Buress and he says, "Why would he do this?" or whatever. And it was the gun shooting. It was like a Brent Burns, Martin Jones mess up for a goal, and I was underneath. Why would EK65 do this? That was a good time. I don't know, man. This is just so demoralizing. I know we're trying to keep it happy on the pod, but like,
there's no way. I mean, I know they won, and winning is hard in the NHL, et cetera, et cetera. But like. There is nothing that you can point out tonight other than James Reimer, who's like a saint. And
when he stopped the final shot, he's like, yeah.
Yes. It's just, yeah. And then Alexander Barabanov, who is just one of those another hidden gem guys. The Sharks they kind of have a little bit of a knack of finding some of these guys. But like, yeah. So they play the Flyers on Thursday, and the Flyers are a hot mess with COVID right now. So we'll see about that. But yeah, it's just leaves a bad taste in your mouth tonight.
What do you, before we go, if they snap off like 4 or 5 losses here in a row, I think you got to try to get in that top 5 pick this year, right?
Yeah. Especially watching World Juniors, I know you don't want to put a lot of stock into, one tournament, but yeah, man, like there's some talented players. There's some good players. And, our whole goal for this draft season is we need to find William Eklund a friend. And I think if you want to find him a really nice, good best friend, it might be worth another bad season from the Sharks.
I just don't think they have any choice. Like, I think they're just going to be bad. And the broadcast was talking about them being near the playoffs because they are technically by traditional standards. Yes. They have 33 points in 31 games, and the Oilers have 36 and 29. So by points percentage, they're a little ways back, but like they're hanging around that weird creamy middle section,
which is what we feared.
So in the division, like Edmonton's got 36, Calgary is 36 and 28, Anaheim is 40 and 32, and Vegas has 42 and 33.
Do they even let Calgary and Edmonton play games anymore?
Who knows? But like, yeah, right outside them, Winnipeg has only played 30 games and they have the same amount of points. So like, if Edmonton wins both their games, now they're at 40. They're 7 points back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's
gonna get late here really soon for the Sharks. I mean, unless they can want some sort of run, but it's just like, yeah, the schedule coming up, this was supposed to be their soft schedule and they're barely squeaking by with stuff. And it's like,
well, they started off with 3 straight losses because they lost to the Kraken, they lost to the Canucks, they lost to the Coyotes, and part of the soft schedule.
Yeah, they have a road. Their starter East Coast swing, but they're playing some bad teams on this East Coast swing. But then it's like end of January, you're playing, you got like mid to end of January, you're playing Pittsburgh, you're playing the Kings, you're playing Seattle, Tampa, Washington, Florida, Carolina, Tampa. The Islanders are bad, but Boston,
cool.
Vegas. Yeah,
we can stop now.
Yes, it's going to get.
The moral of the story is they got to do something fast, and I just don't watching the game tonight. I just don't know if the answers are there.
Yeah, so.
But Tristan Robbins had 6 points tonight, so there's also that.
Draft season's coming.
Draft season, baby.
Yes, our time to shine.
I want to do the podcast before I quit for a good Sharks team. I just want to be a cocky asshole more than I am on the internet.
Those Fear the Fin days.
Remember when they won via Pavelski death, and then they won via hand pass, and they won via technical offside, and we were just like, I remember the Colorado account, Mile High Hockey or whatever, posted with Vegas after they beat Colorado. They posted like, that feeling because of the offside thing, Me Too friend with Pikachu or whatever. And I remember quote tweeting it from Fear the Fin and being like, well, actually, the offside was actually an offside, so you guys don't know what you're talking about, or something like that. And just replying with like a GIF or like a picture of Timo Meyer's hand to like St. Louis Blues people. So it was the best. But anyway, if you'd like to join us on the internet, you can do that at Locked On Sharks.
I will say Twitter. I was on fire tonight on Twitter. You were selling yourself. You actually tweeted that out from your own personal account. Bold move. That's not something I would do. You started off the day right though when the Swiss USA game got canceled, and you put a picture of Timo Meier drinking a coffee over top of the IIHF announcement, which is just hilarious. While he's looking at his phone, I think the phone part's
just hilarious bullshit from the Content Voice. Also, somebody asked where we find pictures of people, and you replied, "We're the Content Voice." just elite shit. I'm rubbing off on you. If you'd like to come commiserate with us on Twitter, you can do that at Locked On Sharks, Facebook, Instagram. JD puts up all our work there, so you can message us there, and we'll see it. Email lockedonsharks@gmail.com. We haven't got an email in a while. Thank you for your service. YouTube, getting closer to 500 subscribers. I'm going to get a ring light soon, so I'll look better and not orangey.
You're like the Sharks at the 5 minutes.
Oh, the first 5 minutes when they have the Valencia or the XX.
Yeah, but just the whole time.
Yeah. Locked On Sharks there. If you're listening to us, you know how to find us. Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher. Why did I say Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher? Why don't I go Spotify, Apple, Amazon, like the normal ones? Anyway, you know where to find us. You can hear us. You can watch us. If you would like to tweet directly at JD and tell him how big his balls are today because he was tweeting so well, you can do that at Mike Frywell.
Kyle, who sneaky snarky. Is that
not really? I'm not really snarky. There's a difference between snarky when you're trying to be like, oh, cool woke guy, and I'm just like, Brent Burns, your shit. It's not really snark. I'm just playing.
I just wanted to do the double the sneaky snarky. But
sneaky snarky that's like a little kid show or something like that that teaches them how to speak Spanish or something. Is Dora still a thing?
I think so.
There's a really funny TikTok of this girl being like, blah, 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 blah. That means make me a sandwich in Spanish. And the mom whips her, hits her with the Spanish. It's so funny because it's such a good Dora voice because it's really high.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good times. Anyway.
Thank you for making us your first listen. Go check out Locked On Bets. Also, the NHL feed, they have Tyler from Locked On Capitals is doing a World Juniors review after every day. So you can go check out that if you want some more World Junior stuff.
Go Canada.
Kyle,
I see the USA lost today. 1-0.
1-0. I know it was a squeaker. But
sucks to suck.
That's right. We're both Team Canada or Team Sweden here.
No, we're not.
Our allegiance runs deep.
I'm literally Canadian. I can show you my passport. It's right there. I was just filling out a thing.
We're Team Sweden, Team Eklund all the way. So, but yeah, go check out that. So if you want some more World Juniors content, Tyler is doing a good job with that. Locked On Bets. If you want to go pay for your Christmas bills and whatever, I guess Locked On Flyers to get ready for the Flyers game on Thursday.
Or how about Locked On Celtics?
Yeah, I'm sure the Celtics. I think isn't Tatum
Celtics
in
are
COVID?
terrible.
Yeah, COVID protocol or something. So yeah, go check them out. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure their YouTube is very well done as well. So we will be back tomorrow. Preview my childhood team, the Flyers.
Yeah. Cool.